students, I Rajeshwari Shirkanhalli welcome you all in Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School channel. Students, as you know, we are discussing chapter number 13, sound. In the last session, we have discussed some new concepts related to sound. What were those? Yes, those were frequency, amplitude, time period, then loudness and pitch. After that, I introduced to you about two different types of sounds. They are audible sound and inaudible sound. What is audible sound? It is the sound which we can hear, means which the human being can hear, and inaudible sound means we cannot hear that sound. What is the frequency range of audible sound? Yes, it is from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and the sound whose frequency is below 20 hertz and above 20 kilohertz is not audible to us. So, it is termed as inaudible sound, means these sounds are not audible to human beings, but there are certain animals which are able to hear this inaudible sound also. So, today we will discuss which are those animals and what are these sound called as, means the sound whose frequency is below 20 hertz. What is this type of sound? And the sound whose frequency is above 20,000 hertz, what is this type of sound called? Similarly, we are going to discuss about sound pollution, then the preventive measures. Okay, so we will start. So, we will see that audible and inaudible sound. Audible sound means it is the sound which is heard by human beings, and inaudible sound is not heard by human beings. So, we have completed this concept. Now, as I have told that there are some animals which are able to hear the sound which is inaudible to human beings. So, some animals can hear sounds of frequencies higher than 20 hertz. Okay, so, if the frequency of sound is higher than 20,000 hertz, means 20 kilohertz, then also some animals can hear that sound. Dogs have this ability, that means dogs can hear the sound about 20 kilohertz. The police use high frequency whistles which dogs can hear, but humans cannot. Okay, if the frequency of the sound is more than 20,000 hertz, we cannot hear that. That is why police cannot hear, but the dogs can hear that sound. The ultrasound equipment familiar to us for investigating and tracking many medical problems works at frequencies higher than 20,000 hertz. So, 20,000 hertz frequency and above that, that is the ultrasound. It is also called as ultrasonic sound, and this is used in medical field. Okay, so, the equipments called as ultrasound equipments are used for investigating and tracking many medical problems. It is it is used to find whether there are any problems in the internal organs. Similarly, it is also used in the industries for finding the flaws in the metals. It is also used in ships for finding the depth of the sea and underwater obstacles. So, the sound whose frequency is above 20,000 hertz is called as ultrasound. Actually, it is ultrasonic sound. Okay? And the sound whose frequency is below 20 hertz, that is called as infrasonic sound or infrasound. So, you are going to learn in more detail about this in the next class, that is in 9th standard. Okay. Now, let us see the difference between noise and music. What do you think? Are these both terms similar? Definitely not. Noise is painful, and whereas music is very pleasant to listen, isn't it? We all enjoy music. But what if the music is played at a very high volume? In that case, music also becomes noise. Okay? So, let us see what is noise and music. We hear different types of sounds around us. Is the sound always pleasing? No. If suppose a dog is barking very loudly, is it pleasant to hear? Not at all. It is noise. But if suppose somebody is playing a music at a proper volume, then it is definitely very pleasant to hear, pleasant to listen, isn't it? Does a sound sometimes cause discomfort to you? Yes. So, loud sound cause discomfort. Some sounds are pleasant to the ear, whereas some are not pleasant to ear. Suppose construction work is going on in your neighborhood. Are the sounds coming from the construction site pleasing? Not at all, isn't it? It's very, painful. We cannot tolerate sometimes that sound coming from the construction sites. Do you enjoy the sounds produced by horns of buses and trucks? No. Again we get irritation by hearing the sound of horns of buses and trucks continuously. Such unpleasant sounds are called noise. We don't like noise. We definitely like music, isn't it? All of us enjoy music, but we cannot tolerate noise sometimes. Now, in a classroom, if all the students speak together, what would the sound produced be called? Yes. Is it a music or noise? If all the students in a class start speaking together, then it is not a music, it is not a proper sound, it is termed as noise and it is painful. Okay, so, noise is nothing but polluted sound, it is also called as sound pollution, and that is not good for health. On the other hand, you enjoy sounds from musical instruments. Musical sound is one which is pleasing to the ear. We feel very nice to hear the sound of different musical instrument if they played at a proper volume and properly. Sound produced by a harmonium is a musical sound, isn't it? Similarly, the string of a sitar also gives out a musical sound. So, we like to hear the sound produced by hormones and sitars, etc. But if a musical sound becomes too loud, okay, if suppose this harmonium, sitar or tabla or any other musical instrument, if they are played with a sound which is too loud, would it remain melodious? No. In that case also it is painful to us. So, let us see what is noise pollution. You already know about air pollution, isn't it? What is air pollution? If some pollutants get mixed in the air, pollutants means unwanted gases which are not the composition of the air. You know that air is a mixture of gases. It consists of nitrogen, oxygen, very small amount of carbon dioxide and some other gases which are in very small amount. But if suppose the unwanted gases get mixed in the air, then it causes air pollution. You know the effects of air pollution. Okay, you have learnt it in the lower classes. So, presence of unwanted gases and particles in air is called the air pollution. Similarly, presence of excessive or unwanted sounds in the environment is called noise pollution. What is noise pollution? It is the presence of excessive or unwanted sounds in the environment, that is called as noise pollution. Can you list some sources of noise pollution? Yes, definitely you have many examples. So, what are the sources? Noise coming from factories, noise coming from construction sites, noise coming from busy traffic on the road. So, these are some of the sources of noise pollution. Major causes of noise pollution are sounds of vehicles, explosions including bursting of crackers, machines, loudspeakers, etc. So these are major causes of noise pollution and they cause more pain. So which are those? Sounds of vehicles, honking horns of the vehicles. Then explosions. Explosions include the explosion of different things, even including bursting of crackers also. Then the sound of machines in the factories. Then the sound of loudspeakers. What sources in the home may lead to noise? So there are many sources of sound. If they are used at a very high volume, then they also create noise pollution at home. For example, television and transistor radio at high volumes, isn't it? If you watch television and transistor radio at very high volumes, you will get noise pollution. Some kitchen appliances. In kitchen we use different appliances like mixer grinder, toaster, they also produce noise. Desert coolers, then air conditioners, they all contribute to noise pollution. So we have to use them carefully and when they are needed only. Now what are the harms of noise pollution? We have seen that excessive and unwanted sound is nothing but noise and noise pollution is harmful. So let us see what effects noise pollution cause on us. Do you know that the presence of excessive noise in the surroundings may cause many health related problems? So as I have just told that if you expose to loud noise continuously, you get many health related problems. Which are these problems? Lack of sleep, means you cannot sleep properly, which is called as insomnia. Then hypertension. Hypertension means high BP, high blood pressure. Then anxiety. So you don't remain cool, you become very anxious about doing any work, restless you become, and many more health disorders may be caused by noise pollution. A person who is exposed to a loud sound continuously may get temporary or even permanent impairment of hearing. That means if a person gets exposed to a loud sound continuously, then the person may become partially deaf or even sometimes permanently deaf. Now what to do? How to avoid this? There are some measures which can be undertaken to limit noise pollution. So let us see which are those measures. To control noise, we must control the sources of noise, means from where this noise is coming, that source should be controlled. How can this be achieved? For this, silencing devices must be installed in aircraft engines. You know that aircraft, when they take off or when they land, they produce a lot of sound, and the people, those who are residing in that surrounding area, they get more health problems. So silencing devices should be installed in the aircraft engines so that no noise can be created by them. Similarly, the silencing devices should be installed in transport vehicles, industrial machines, and even in home appliances. So by using these silencing devices, we can definitely limit the noise pollution. How can the noise pollution be controlled in a residential area? You know, residential area means the colonies, societies where people stay. So in pure residential area, what can be done? Residential area means there are no factories and all. Then how the noise pollution can be controlled? The noisy operations must be conducted away from any residential area. So noisy operations means the activities which create more noise should not be taken in residential area, they should be conducted away from any residential area. Noise producing industries should be set up away from such areas. Okay, so the industry should not be in the residential areas, they should be set up away from residential areas. Students, generally you see that industrial areas are different and there are no residential areas near industries. Then use of automobile horns should be minimized. Okay, so the horn should not be used unnecessarily. Using automobile horns should be less whenever it is very urgent. Otherwise, sometimes we see many people, they just use the horn unnecessarily. That should be stopped. Then TV and music systems should be run at low volumes. So, the volume of TV and music should be kept low. Trees must be planted along the roads and around buildings to cut down on the sound reaching the residents, thus reducing the harmful effects of noise pollution. Then another important thing is we should plant trees on the roadsides and even around the buildings where we stay. Means we have to plant the trees in our residential areas. Trees are called as sound absorbers. So, the sound coming from the source gets absorbed by the trees, so its effect can be minimized and we do not hear that much loud sound in the presence of trees. So, this is very easy task which all of you can do, that is planting the trees. As you know that trees provide fresh oxygen, then temperature remains controlled, then soil erosion stops, and along with that, see, today you have learnt one more very important advantage of planting trees. Plants or trees, they absorb sound and the effects of noise pollution can be reduced. Now, let us see something about this hearing impairment. What is hearing impairment? The total hearing impairment, which is rare, is usually from the birth itself. Means the complete deafness is from the birth. From the birth, this defect is there in some of the children, that they are not able to hear. Partial disability is generally the result of disease, injury or age. Okay, so complete deafness is from birth, but partial disability means not hearing properly is the result of a disease, of any particular disease or injury of ear or injury of any other part related to brain, or it happens with age also. As age increases, the hearing capacity also reduces. Children with impaired hearing need special care, isn't it? They are not normal children, they need special care. By learning sign language, such children can communicate effectively. So, as they are not able to hear properly, so for communication, sign language is taught to such children. They learn sign language and with the help of doing different signs, they can communicate effectively. Because speech develops as the direct result of hearing, isn't it? These both are very much related to each other. Generally, you see some of the people, those who are deaf, they are dumb also. So, speech develops as the direct result of hearing. A child with a hearing loss may have defective speech also. Okay, so a child who is not able to hear is having the defect in the speech, means in talking also. Technological devices for the hearing impaired have made it possible for such persons to improve their quality of life. Okay, so nowadays even the people, those who are not able to hear properly or those who are having a defective speech can also live a proper life, a quality of their life is improved because of technological devices. Society can do much to improve the living environment for the hearing impaired and help them live normal lives. So, it is all up to the people. They should not differentiate between the normal people and the people with hearing disability. So, they can cooperate with them and help these type of people to live a normal life. So students, here we have completed with our chapter. Now let us see in short what we have learnt in this chapter. First is sound is produced by vibrating objects. We have discussed that the sound is produced by vibrating objects. In human beings, the vibration of the local cords produces sound. So how the sound is produced in human beings? It is because of vibration of vocal cords. We have seen that in human beings there is a sound box which consists of vocal cords, and in between vocal cords there is a gap for air to pass. So in human beings the vibration of the vocal cords produces sound. After that, sound travels through a medium. We have seen that a medium is must for traveling of sound. What is the another term used for traveling? Yes, you are right. It is called as propagation. So for the propagation of the sound, a medium is must. Now what is a medium? It is any gas, liquid or solid. In the absence of such medium, sound cannot be travelled. So it cannot travel in vacuum. So sound travels through a medium. After that, we have discussed about human ear. The eardrum senses the vibration of sound. It sends the signals to the brain. This process is called hearing. So how do we hear the sound? It is with the help of our ear. Our ear consists of an eardrum which senses the vibration of the sound. So it moves inward and outward in hearing the sound, and then it sends the signals to the brain. This process is called hearing. So students, you are going to learn in more detail about this function of human ear in class 9. Okay. After that, we have discussed about frequency. The number of oscillations or vibrations per second is called the frequency of oscillations. So what is frequency? It is nothing but the number of oscillations or vibrations per second. What is an oscillation? It is the to and fro or back and forth motion of an object, that is called as oscillatory motion. Okay, so number of oscillations or vibrations per second is called the frequency of oscillation. Means how many oscillations are completed in 1 second, that decides the frequency of oscillation. If an object completes 15 oscillations per second, then what is the frequency of the oscillation? It is 15 Hertz. And if an object completes just 2 oscillations per second, then the frequency of such objects is 2 Hertz. What is Hertz? It is the unit for specifying the frequency. So frequency is expressed in unit Hertz, which is denoted as Hz. So as I have told, you have to write H capital and Z small. So that is the unit used for specifying, for denoting frequency. Next, we have learnt about amplitude and loudness. Larger the amplitude of vibration, louder is the sound. We have learned that amplitude is directly proportional to the loudness of sound. So if the amplitude of the vibration is large, then the sound is louder, and if the amplitude of vibration is less, then the sound is lower. That means amplitude is directly proportional to the loudness of sound. So after that, we have discussed about pitch of the sound. So what is pitch? Higher the frequency of vibration, the higher is the pitch, and shriller is the sound, isn't it? If the frequency is more, pitch is more. If the frequency is less, then pitch is less. Means frequency of vibration is directly proportional to the pitch of the sound. Higher the frequency of vibration, the higher is the pitch. Lower the frequency of vibration, the lower is the pitch. Similarly, higher the frequency of vibration, the shrillness of sound is more, and if the frequency of vibration is less, then the shrillness of the sound is low. We have also discussed that the pitch of woman is high as compared to the pitch of a man. Okay, that means all women, generally all women are having high pitch voice, and whereas generally all men are having low pitch voice. Okay, after that we have discussed about noise. What is noise? It is unpleasant sound. So, the sound which is causing any discomfort to us, okay, so which is unpleasant to hear is called as a noise. So, excessive or unwanted sounds lead to noise pollution. So, we have discussed about noise pollution, that if unwanted sounds get mixed in the environment, it creates noise pollution, and noise pollution is very harmful. It affects us in different ways. We get physical problem, mental problem, emotional problem as well. Noise pollution may pose health problems for human beings. We have discussed that different health problems are caused in the human beings, like lack of sleep, then hypertension. What is hypertension? It is high blood pressure. So, these things occur because of noise pollution. If a person exposes to noise continuously, then the health of that person gets affected, person becomes mentally disturbed and emotionally disturbed. So, attempts are made to minimize noise pollution. So, some attempts should be made to minimize noise pollution. Which are these attempts? We have discussed that some silencing devices should be installed in industries, in different vehicles, then in the aircrafts, etc. So, because of installation of the silencing devices, the noise pollution can be reduced. Similarly, one more very important attempt to minimize the noise pollution is tree plantation. So, plantation on the roadside and elsewhere can reduce noise pollution. So, by planting trees we can reduce noise pollution. If it is not at all possible to go and plant the trees on the roadside, definitely we can plant the trees in our residential areas near our house. And if you have garden, you can go and plant the trees in the garden as well, in your house garden or in your society. So, by doing all these things, definitely we can reduce the noise pollution. So, students, here we have completed with the chapter, and here there are some important keywords which you have to go through. Okay, so, generally it is found that while doing writing work, some spelling mistakes are made by the students, but no spelling mistake should be made in the important words. So, these important words are called as keywords. Some keywords are given, that is amplitude, audible, eardrum, hertz, larynx, loudness. So, let me tell you, larynx is nothing but voice box. Okay? Loudness, noise, oscillation, pitch, shrillness, time period, vibration, voice box, windpipe, and etc. So, practice these words and read the chapter and read these important points which we have completed. So, here we have completed with the chapters. Now, as you know that at the end of every chapter there are some extended learning, means some activities and projects are given. So, here some projects are given for you. The first one is visit the music room of your school. You may also visit musicians in your locality. So, students, you can visit the music room of your school, or if you have any musician in your locality, you can go and visit the musicians. Make a list of musical instruments. Okay, so you are knowing many musical instruments, just make a list of these musical instruments. Note down the parts of these instruments that vibrate to produce sound. In the beginning of the chapter, we have seen that certain parts of the instruments, they get vibrated to produce the sound, and then as a whole, the whole instrument is set into vibration. We have discussed that vibration is through air column, it is through strings, and similarly the vibration is through stretched membrane. So, you have to find out the different parts of these instruments which vibrate to produce sound. So, this is the first activity for you. The second activity is, if you play a musical instrument, bring it to the class and demonstrate how you play it. Okay? I know definitely you will love that. The third and very easy activity for you is, prepare a list of famous Indian musicians and the instruments they play. So, students, all of you are going to do this activity. What you have to do is, you have to make a list of famous Indian musicians and which instruments they play, that also you are going to mention. Okay, and after that there are two more activities given which you can make and enjoy yourself. So, read these activities and try to make such instruments by your own and enjoy the sound produced by these instruments. So, here in this activity you have to take a long thread, place your hands on your ear and get someone to place this thread round your head and hands. Ask your friend or any family member to make the thread taut and hold its end in one hand. Now, ask her to draw her finger and thumb tightly along the end, along the thread. So, you can hear a rolling sound like that of a tumbler. And in the last activity, it is making of telephone. So, you are familiar with this making of telephone. So, do this activity of making the telephone and enjoy all the activities. So, students, here we have completed with chapter number 13, sound. We have discussed many important things related to sound and we have seen the difference between noise and music. So, I hope you all will play the musical instrument with a proper volume. Similarly, you can play the television, tape recorder, etc. at a proper volume. Otherwise, sometimes these musical instruments will also become noise and it creates health problems. So, you have to take care and you should not trouble anyone and you have to spread the awareness in the society. Thank you.